Hello everyone, this is Inspire Tuesday number 32 because our team at Silver Lake Dental Center believes that starting the day motivated and inspired sets up the rest of the day for success. We bring quotes to our morning huddles and it has been so positive to our team that we decided to share it with you and hope to motivate and inspire you as well. Today the topic is be resilient. Resilience is the measurement of one's capacity to fully recover from adversity. And it doesn't mean that you either have it or don't have it, because psychologists believe that we can learn how to be resilient. I have in here 3 tips to help our team and you to be resilient. I'll talk about 2 tips, bring a quote, and 1 more tip. Enjoy! Tip number 1 is, it's okay to not feel okay, but make it temporary. No matter how smart you are or talented, you have to understand that things will not go right at some point. And you're gonna feel bad, sad, mad. I would even take it to another level. I would expect and accept that you're gonna feel pain, misfortune, failure, loss. This is like, it's gonna be there at some point. And the key for that is to accept where you are, but make it temporary. And one way to do it is like reframe what you're going through. If it is a loss, a misfortune, or failure, whatever it is, it doesn't define you. It doesn't mean that it's gonna define your future. And one other thing to look at, it's not permanent. It should be temporary. Whatever pain you're going through, even that one is gonna end. And it's also not personal, because a lot of people go around and say, why me? Why my life? Remember that whatever happened to you, it has happened to a lot of other people as well. And it's also not a domino effect. It doesn't mean that if you have some kind of failure or misfortune in one area of your life, everything else is a failure. It's not like that. So if your goal should be to cope with the situation instead of avoiding it, and that will make you really build a very important trait of resilience. Tip number 2 is practice gratitude. Researchers have shown that people are more familiar with and focus on obstacles that hold them back instead of resources that will take them to succeed. And that's very common. If you know your brain, it works in a way that is trying to avoid you from feeling pain. But that ends up getting you to not see or take the opportunity that will make you succeed. And that's painful as is. So the key is to really work your brain and start to practice gratitude. And one way to do that, you gotta start to train it. Start it by now. Just think of something that you are grateful for. And you gotta train to see the glass half full instead of half empty. That's totally a training. And another way is also to bring perspective to your life, because that makes you see this in a whole, a perspective in a long term, in a bigger picture. And that's really important for you to become resilient. I'll give an example of a patient that came to the clinic and got an implant there, and 3 months later, she left really good that day. And 3 months later, she comes in for an impression for her final restoration, and she was on a walker, an electric walker, was not driving, couldn't walk for all this time. She stayed a long time in the hospital for an infection on her foot. She was so sad and so negative because of what happened to her. But once she got there, and I decided to just give her some perspective just so she can look at the big picture. I told her, I'm so glad that you had the opportunity to get care, and you are in the best country, which is in the United States, to get the great medical help, with the best in medicine, technology, and the doctors all available for you, and that's getting you to recover, and your foot is still there. Had it been in a different country, you never know. Some people in there, they lose their foot just for not having the opportunity to get care. And she was so happy just by seeing that, and she's like, that's how I should see things. I'm so glad I came in here today. And the good thing is that when you make someone else happier and feel gratitude, you end up feeling even happier and more grateful. So make sure to bring perspective to your life and to people's life, and that's how you're gonna become resilient and help other people become resilient as well. The quote today is from Hillary Clinton. Do what is necessary to be resilient. You will get knocked down. What matters is that you get back up. Tip number 3 is look for role models. There's a book called Resilience, The Science of Mastering Life's Greatest Challenges. And it's written by 2 psychologists. I forgot their name right now, but they recommend that in order for someone to become more resilient, it's really helpful to imitate role model. And what they mean is, like, if you go and analyze and study someone that you admire and you think is resilient, then you're gonna see what did they do to deal with their adversity, and then you can come up with rules and use it to your own struggle. Because you cannot really imitate somebody else and become somebody else. But the goal is to go and pick up in their mindset and make you transform and change your mindset and to take you to another level. It's all in the mindset. So it's really helpful. It helps a lot in my life because I love to read about autobiography of people that I really admire. And another thing is as well, like if you go and read about someone that has a huge disability, like a big disability, and it's making a huge impact in the world, it's gonna really make you have perspective. Like if this person that struggled with all this can make that impact, you know, I gotta use more my resources and, you know, and understand that I can also do it. It's really helpful. I hope you guys liked the topic and the quote today, and I'd love to hear from you with comments below of tips of what do you do to be more resilient. I'll talk to you guys next week. Bye-bye. And make sure to subscribe to our Silver Lake Dental Center YouTube channel and follow us on Facebook and Instagram for more Inspired Tuesdays.